Welcome back to the Fourth and Gold NFL podcast. We continue to navigate the off season, and it's been a quiet week in free agency. It feels like, but we've got some interesting topics to cover this week. The one I wanted to start with, Paul. So there's been a couple of proposals made to the NFL by teams this week. The Steelers have basically asked for something that came in this year to be made permanent. And I believe it is that during free agency this year, you were able to schedule 5 Zoom calls with free agents of your choice. So, you learn a bit more about them, quicker than you normally would do. I think that's a reasonable thing to add.
Yeah.
But the one that piqued my interest was the Browns. So the Browns have proposed that we expand the range of picks that you can trade, which is currently 3 years of picks, to 5 years. And I just think it's almost ironic that this would be proposed by the Browns, who are still coming off the Deshaun Watson trade, which, let's face it, has been a complete failure for them. So I personally, I don't have a strong opinion on it, but my feeling is I wouldn't change it, because having sort of gone through it with the Niners, where we went all in for Trey Lance, you really feel the burn of those years where you're not making that first round selection. So that was 3 long years. 5 years just feels, it'll be an eternity. And I just think that if you're making a trade, you don't need to be throwing around 5 first round picks like they do in the NBA. But that's just me.
Yeah. I thought, like you, that, the Browns, what are they talking about? They're just like coming out the other side of the Deshaun Watson thing. Well, he's still there for this year. But also, the Browns have that. I think the guy's still employed by them. That Paul DePodesta,
Yeah.
who's from a baseball background.
Mm-hmm.
Full transparency, I'm not down with baseball trades. So I don't know if it's a crossover from baseball. I know that the guy, he came over from baseball because the word was that he's an analytics guy and he's gonna crunch the numbers. So has it come from him? I don't know. But yeah, the Browns, maybe when they're in trades. So the Browns as a franchise, like the Deshaun Watson thing, they had to guarantee the contract and offer that amount of draft capital for him to agree to go to Cleveland. So are Cleveland saying that, basically we could get not outbid, but if we have equal offers with other teams, then they're going to choose to go to any other destination other than Cleveland, Ohio. And yeah, I think that's a reasonable assumption to make. So I don't know, but yeah, that was what I thought. Yeah, Deshaun Watson had just come in off the back of it, and the baseball guy, is this the baseball thing? I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah.
The Browns are looking for maybe a way to be more competitive in trades, because from Deshaun Watson, I know it was them, the Falcons, and there was at least one other team who were strong in it for Deshaun Watson. And
I want to say it might have been the Saints, maybe.
I went to the Saints as well, but yeah, it's a while ago now. And he was headed to, I believe, Atlanta. Atlanta were the favorites. And then the Browns came in with the what the hell offer and the guaranteed contract, and the rest is history. And then, of course, other players, notably Lamar Jackson, wanted the guaranteed contract, and the Browns were not popular around the NFL for guaranteeing a contract. And Yeah, so the Browns aren't in the business of being popular around the NFL, but I think it's not a competition committee. This would be the NFL have to agree to the change of procedure, I think.
It's a vote. It's a vote where you have to get 24 out of 32 owners to approve it.
Okay, so it's the same principle as the rules. Okay. Yeah, I would be surprised if this got.
Yeah.
What did Juju say?
Yeah.
Browns is the Browns.
It's interesting because I didn't know what angle they were coming from, but the way that you described it, that's what it sounds like. They want to be able to differentiate themselves in trades. Because I was thinking, are they looking at it from the point of view that they want to possibly acquire more draft capital? Like, this whole when they were going through Miles Garrett, maybe they felt that two first rounders wasn't enough, or is it the flip side? And now I'm thinking it is the flip side. You know,
Yeah, I don't know that. I'm just reacting to
mm,
breaking news for me. So I'm just saying Cleveland, what would their thoughts be? Oh, it's the Browns. So yeah, why not? Why not?
yeah, it's dangerous because bad teams do bad things, and good teams generally capitalize off of that. So you could see a situation where the Browns have got no first round picks for 5 years, and someone like the Eagles or the Rams suddenly have like this array of high draft capital.
Yeah,
So
coach gets fired. Good luck hiring a GM and a coach with that. Like, yeah, you've got no first round pick for 3, 4, 5 years. You know,
wow,
yeah, it could be tough. I mean, where'd you stop? Where'd you stop? I mean, I know the NBA. The NBA has those stupid trades, and I'm sure
yeah,
the NBA go as high as 5, maybe even more. I'm not sure, but the NBA doesn't have the. It's not so linked to the draft like
yeah,
the NFL.
definitely,
You've got you've got five players on the court at one time, but what the roster is what 11 something.
yeah.
I don't know. Um, the NFL's what cut down to 53 from what's the highest number it is at any point? 90.
90?
Yeah,
Yeah,
stupid. So yeah, the NFL relies on the draft a little bit more than the NBA.
for sure, for sure. So there was one move from last week that I thought we should cover because it basically happened while we were on air, and that is Kyler Murray signed a 1 year deal with the Vikings. And interestingly, as part of that deal, he got a no tag clause. So he can't be franchise tagged, and therefore he will be able to hit the open market again next year. And that makes sense because what I had heard last week was that Murray was reaching out to teams that potentially might need a quarterback next year to gauge their interest. But in terms of this move, I'm interested to hear your thoughts, Paul, because this to me is a great place for a quarterback to play. Whereas where Murray has been in Arizona, it just hasn't been.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for both sides. I mean, I haven't got massive confidence in Kyler Murray to be a superstar in this league, but if he is going to be successful, this is the best. He couldn't have asked for a better opportunity. You know, they look like they're out on JJ McCarthy. This seems to be the spot where quarterbacks revive their careers second time around. And you've got an offensive head coach who's really good at working with quarterbacks. You've got Justin Jefferson. You play in a dome. You've got a defense. Yeah, it lines up perfectly for Kyler Murray. So if it doesn't work out for Kyler Murray this year, then you wonder if it's ever going to work out for Kyler Murray. But I would be shocked if he's not the starter week 1. And we're going to find out about Kyler Murray. Great, great opportunity for him because O'Connell's going to give him. O'Connell's going to design plays for him, and it's happened early. It's not like he's a trade in season or like Aaron Rodgers turns up in July, August. Like he's there and they have the time to prepare for the season. So yeah, I understand it for both sides.
Yeah, I love it because I think, like you said, one of your points was if it doesn't work out here, I think then we kind of know who Kyler Murray is. But I'm willing to explore it because, as I said various times, I've been on the back of the good parts of Kyler Murray, like the devastating running that he does have in his locker. Um, and I don't know, like I fully expect him to win the job. Like I don't think that you make this move unless Kyler Murray is going to be your starting quarterback. Maybe JJ McCarthy sitting for a year will do him some good. Like he couldn't really stay on the field last year with the various injuries that he had, and the play, as we know, was a bit erratic. So maybe he does need a year to just kind of take a deep breath, take a step back, and just digest it. Either way, it's more exciting to me that Kyler Murray is the starting quarterback because we've seen him when he's at his best that he can make big plays with his arm, not just his legs. And Kevin O'Connell is going to have Justin Jefferson wide open at times. Like we're not asking you to throw tight windows here, lasers into tight windows. There's Justin Jefferson, throw it to him. Like, so I'm definitely excited to see the Vikings for sure. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think they're more of a problem. Yeah, Kyler Murray is, a matchup problem. He's a defensive coordinator nightmare, like scheming up for Kyler Murray. He's just got to execute. He's just got to be more consistent. And it wasn't in Arizona. Like you said, when he was hot, like, geez, like, good luck. Because, yeah, he opens up a whole load of possibilities. And he does have a strong arm and he does make some big throws. The the crazy last second play to Hopkins back in the day against the Bills, and he's had some big moments, Kyler Murray. It just hasn't been consistent.
Yeah.
At the Cardinals, is that Kyler Murray? He's always, I think it's good, like fresh start. He's still living with that tag of Call of Duty and meetings and them stuff with the playbook. So yeah, he needs a fresh start. And I heard he grew up as a Vikings fan. So yeah, he'll be motivated. He'll be motivated to play for his childhood team, the team he roots for, and he's motivated financially because he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, would you rather Kyler Murray on a veteran minimum deal with the Cardinals paying all of his salary? You're picking up what, 1 point something? 1 million change?
1.3?
Or, sorry to come back to it, but Daniel Jones on 2 years for 88. I know which way I would rather go.
It's really interesting. I mean, I know we're going to come to Malik Willis, but the fact that Malik Willis is at half the money that Daniel Jones is on, that is interesting. Like that, as we've said before, Daniel Jones, like his agency, hell of a job. Hell of a job.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not fully sure. I don't want to go off too much on a tangent, but I'm not fully sure how much he proved last year. I mean, he proved that the Colts had a pretty nice schedule to open up, and yeah, they got rolling and they won some games. And Jonathan Taylor was a candidate to be the MVP as a running back, which doesn't happen. So Jonathan Taylor only plays at 70% of that. Do the Colts win that? They were what, 8-2, I believe it was, and then the wheels came off. But Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know how he improved from. I know the cap number improved, but 40 million for the Giants and they hated the deal. Did he improve from that point to this point? I don't know.
I
But
think he was in a better situation, and so by virtue of that, he played like fair. You got to be fair to him. He played well until some stickier games came along.
Daniel Jones, like, okay, I admit that I'm maybe a little bit verge on the side of being a Daniel Jones hater. However, on the flip side, show me who's a Daniel Jones fan except for Daniel Jones, his agent, and it seems to be
The Colts GM.
the GMs who agree these deals because the
Yeah.
fan base, a lot of the fan bases of the teams that he's on don't seem to be a huge Daniel Jones fan either. So I'm just wondering, where am I missing something? Like, where has the myth emerged from?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like probably character-wise, he's like super high character, and that's maybe swaying these coaches and GMs a bit because, like, he's got attributes where I really don't want to put him in the same sentence as this guy,
Yeah.
but you kind of look at him and say he's got that Josh Allen mold at least. He can. He's a tall quarterback. He can run. We're not good. We're not comparing ability,
Oh,
but
Josh Allen, jeez.
yeah, we're not comparing ability. But you saw Dayball kind of try and get that out of him
Yeah.
with that style of offense.
Yeah, yeah, and again, he had Saquon Barkley that year.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I just think if you put up Daniel Jones on an Instagram poll or something, and if it was any other player, it might be as lopsided as a 70-30. I think if you put up Daniel Jones, is he worth that contract poll? I think it's much more likely to be in the 90-10 sort of a range. That's
Yeah,
that's an idea, Daniel Jones, because I don't think I've met a fan yet. Don't think I've met on, yeah, Daniel Jones. Because even in the moment, the people who are educated enough to watch NFL and to see past the just flashes go, no, 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 just wait, like just wait. No, I don't buy it at all.
and I think the 10% that would be saying it's justified are majority of those would be people that just say, well, you have to pay the quarterback. Why? I don't want to pay Daniel Jones 44 million per year. Like, as I said before, like, to me, he's someone that you want sub 20 million
Mm.
because then you're using that cap space to fill the roster. Like, yeah.
I think they're doubling down. I think they've doubled down. I think Ballard knows he's doubled down. Daniel
Mm.
guy,
Often AC, no, is it Achilles or ACL? One of the two.
I think it's an kid.
That is tough.
Yeah, I don't get it, but we'll see.
Yeah. When we do our division breakdowns, I'm going to be interested to see what we uncover with the Colts because it may not impact them this year, but next year, I was taking a look. If you add up Daniel Jones, Alec Pierce, and Sauce, that is way over 100 million of your cap on those three players. Like, does that make you feel good that we're sort of looking at a third of your cap is on those three? Alec Pierce, I've said it before. I'm a fan of his. It's a lot of money to spend on him. Same with Sauce. Same with Jones. Those are big bets.
Yeah, I mean, like they don't have. So they made the Daniel Jones decision, and then they made the Sauce Gardner trade. So the GM, I guess, in that moment, yeah, he's doubled down, but also he didn't have a first round draft pick, so he wasn't thinking like, oh, okay, well, I can do something in the draft. But there were these quarterbacks available. There are still quarterbacks available. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I hope it works out for the Colts because I like them as a franchise, but I'm not a great fan of this player, as you might have noted.
And I stand by it. Like I would have dug my heels in and said, "We've tagged you. If we can't cut, we're not going to come to an agreement. Let's play on the tag at 37 for this year." I think the only saving grace is it is a 2-year deal, so they're not signing the franchise away.
Yeah.
Um, but I still wouldn't have made the
But
deal
who are you
personally.
competing against?
Yeah, like
Who's
who's offering 40 million to Daniel Jones? No one came in clearly because the transition tag is a tag that says, "Here's the price. Let's see if someone wants to better it." We got no report of any team making an offer.
you want 44 million? You want 88 over two? Okay, see ya.
Yeah,
Luck out there.
exactly. So as we move on, another trade happened this week. It's like a low value trade, but I'm intrigued by this one. So Justin Fields was traded to the Chiefs. They gave up a sixth round pick. I believe he has 1 year left on his deal, around sort of 10, 11 million. And the Chiefs are only paying 3 million.
Yeah.
So, like, when you look at it, Justin Fields to me doesn't feel like an Andy Reid type of quarterback, but he's coming in as a backup. He may have to start a few games depending on how Mahomes' recovery progresses. But I'm interested to know what the plan might be, when Mahomes is playing,
Mm.
because Fields has some elite abilities. Like, let's face it, it's mainly with his legs. So I'm intrigued to see if there's a package here. The Chiefs, they've been running a lot of reverses, a lot of wildcat recently, and you've added Kenneth Walker. Like, is there a read option package there with Fields and Kenneth Walker? That could be a new look to this offense. And for an offense that I think we've both been sort of painfully disappointed with,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like things might be turning.
Yeah, I have hope for Justin Fields now because he has left. Look, he's had Aaron Glenn, okay, Mike Tomlin, but Mike Tomlin is not known for his quarterback development.
Mm.
Matt Eberflus and who was before Eberflus in Chicago? Was it the Nagy guy?
I think it
Or
might have been Nagy. Yeah.
so not wonderful head coaches.
Mm.
And he just gets similar to the Kyler Murray thing. He just gets an opportunity. He's going to be there. So Mahomes, if he's going to make it, is probably going to be tight for week one. Mahomes. So that means that Justin Fields is going to have the whole off-season program with Andy Reid, the enemy, the Kansas City offense. Yeah, it's a great opportunity for him. If it doesn't work out in Kansas City, then, similar to the Kyler Murray thing, is it ever going to work out? And if it doesn't, if it means that maybe he's found his spot, maybe he's, a backup quarterback. But it's a great opportunity for him to just develop as a player because
Mm.
has he had the opportunity to develop in the systems and with the head coaches that I just outlined? I don't know, but
I
he,
think that's fair. I think
yeah,
that's definitely fair.
he will with the Chiefs.
Yeah. Andy Reid is a great offensive mind, as we know. And Bieniemy, familiar face, is back. Like, I think they've been running with Nagy as because I think the offense is Andy Reid's with some support.
Yeah,
And with Nagy, I'm not a great fan of Nagy's scheme, to be honest. Like, I feel like it's a lot of gimmicks. That's probably a bit harsh, but it doesn't feel like a full offense. And we've seen with Bieniemy in the past, at least Andy Reid and Bieniemy, they were able to have an explosive offense, and then they pivoted to a more surgical offense. A more like 10 to 15 play drive kind of offense. So
But
yeah, like
so the domino is that it's Gino's gig in New York with the Jets.
yeah,
So it's gone for well. Tyrod Taylor's still on the roster.
wow,
He's he's a career backup, but yeah, it's Gino. It's Gino with the Jets, and Justin Fields gets training camp and OTAs and everything with the Chiefs because Mahomes, yeah, is not currently healthy.
I wonder what Gino we're going to get, because I know that he didn't play well last year, but
Yeah,
that offensive line play was like all time awful.
yeah,
But Gino was pretty bad himself. So
yeah.
we're going to see with the Jets if he can go back to more like Seattle Gino, because like they've got some good weapons and they have actually been investing in their offensive line. Whether or not that is truly working, I think it's at least an upgrade from what he was dealing with in Vegas.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. Gino's a very streaky player as well.
Yeah,
But he did have some great moments with the Seahawks.
yeah, for sure. And just on the field still, I think maybe this might be the end for Russell Wilson. The Chiefs would, the Chiefs were looking to give away a sixth round pick and get Fields than just sign Wilson, as a free agent. Wilson, we know, he's a good guy, but he seems to rub people the wrong way at times. And Fields, I think, is more of a player that the team will
Well,
sort of
forget the draft capital because it was very little, wasn't
very
it?
little. Yeah,
It's the cap. Is Russell Wilson asking for more than 3 million?
yeah,
And Justin Fields, similar to the Kyle Pitts thing. Maybe it's this year. He's got sides. We haven't seen it, but he flashes. Yeah, like maybe unfair on Kyle Pitts. He put together a good year last year, but yeah, Justin Fields has. I think it's fair to say more runway than Russell Wilson, and at this point,
yeah, and as I said, I am just intrigued to see if there will be a package for him with Mahomes in the offense. Because we've
yeah,
seen Fields like I don't want to like you know disrespect him because he's a quarterback, but we've seen this running ability. Like this is a guy that can go 70 yards to the house if you leave him a gap. So this whole offensive construction with the Chiefs is interesting to me.
yeah. And Justin Fields, as recently as like a couple of years ago, was 4-2 as a starter with the Steelers, and then got benched for Russell Wilson, who then came back and started off okay, but then ended the season poorly, and Steelers fans were ruining the decision at the end of the season. Like, damn, we had Justin Fields, who wasn't spectacular, but we seem to be a little bit more kind of under control. Fields, we weren't asking him, and with Russell, it was, oh no, I'm going to make some big throws. Okay, yeah, but what about all of the throws everywhere else except the deep balls down the sideline to it was Pickens at that time? Like, yeah, I don't know what Russell Wilson is asking for. I don't know, but looks like he's going to have to eat his lumps if he wants to stay in this league and be a backup.
Yeah, because like, what starting jobs are left? Arizona is that it?
The Cardinals, the Steelers.
The Steelers, I feel like we know where we're headed with that. Because if it isn't, I don't know what the Steelers are doing. Like, if there is any doubt if there was any doubt, they should have pivoted. So to me, I feel like they're really behind the scenes is no doubt who's going to be the quarterback. But we don't know until we know, right?
I would like to think that the lack of Steelers activity at the quarterback position means they are fairly confident that he is coming back. Because if it turns out that he doesn't come back, then what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have confirmation. So last year, like they had the, wink nod, him and Tomlin, that okay, yeah, you're coming, but we'll announce it late enough so that you don't have to do too much training during the off season. So I'll do you that favor. Is that the same thing happening this year? I think it is. I really think it is. But yeah, I don't know. This has to be the last time, surely. And they have to. Yeah, Kyler Murray was available for $1 million. I don't know. I don't know. But it better work out for the Steelers, because if Kyler Murray or ends up and Malik Willis ends up having a spectacular season, then you had the chance.
Rod Woodson was very vocal about this topic this week, I see. His feeling was, what are the Steelers doing? And I don't want to repeat myself from last year, but Rodgers needs to be there now. He needs to commit now and be there now. As you get older, you need to be there more, not less. You're not playing games, so
yeah.
To me, you need to be there. It's a new offense. It is a new offense with Mike McCarthy. I know that he knows. I know that the nuances are probably very similar from years back at the Packers, but I'm sure Mike McCarthy has evolved over time as well.
That Aaron Rodgers is interested in. Well, Aaron Rodgers does not care. He will do what suits him. He wants to have his nice break. And yeah, he either is not coming back. I think he's coming back because, yeah, otherwise then this free agency period makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, true. So there was quite a big trade that did happen this week, and it was Jaylen. Sorry, let me get this right. Jaylen Waddle traded to the Broncos. So I think the deal was Jaylen Waddle and a 4th-round pick went to the Broncos, and in return, the Dolphins got a first, which was number 30, a third, and a 4th.
Wow.
So I think both parties did well in the deal because the Dolphins, I think, got a good haul there. And the Broncos, is this the best receiver on their roster now?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But he's different.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say depends what you're looking for. I mean, he does complement Sutton. He's a completely different player. Waddle's not always available. And this is a high price to pay for Jaylen Waddle. When I heard the price, I was like, wow. So they're treating him like a superstar. Because the amount of draft capital, that's a hefty price. So I think the Dolphins have done well to get what they have, especially as it's widely available news. It's not a secret that they are in full teardown tank mode and everybody's available for trade. So for them to get that price off the Broncos, I think they've done well. And for the Broncos, I understand because you're kind of stacked. And he does, like I said, he complements Sutton, and you've got Sean Payton. And Sean Payton's obviously got a lot of influence in that organization to say, no, okay, this guy's available. Yeah, get me him. Because this is, yeah, I think if a head coach and a GM aren't totally secure in their jobs, then they don't pay that kind of price for Jaylen Waddle. first, third, fourth, the Jaylen Waddle, who's and they extend him?
I think he's got some runway on his current deal, so I haven't seen an extension yet. Not to say that that's not going to come, but it feels like I seem to remember maybe 2 or 3 years left on this deal
Yeah,
because we know the previous GM in Miami was just giving money out to everyone, you know.
yeah,
So I had the same question mark. Like it's a high price, and my only concern is his availability. Because we've seen him. We know that he's got a lot of he's gonna bring something different. He's a true deep threat for them. And he's a good route runner, but it's just durability. I've been burned a few times on player props with one Jaylen Waddle. So that's how I know firsthand. But certainly, like if he stays healthy, you're right. Like this is a perfect complement to what Sutton brings you. Sutton's going to be the focal point, but Waddle might, if healthy, might actually be the better receiver.
yeah, yeah. It's a lot because you're saying that okay, this is an elite receiver.
Mm.
We'll see.
And it's interesting because I'm going off of what PFT reported on this. Over the weekend, the Rams were trying, or at least exploring, a trade for AJ Brown. So I wonder what the cost was going to be for him. Like, was it going to be more than a first, third, and a fourth? That I suppose if you look at it, Waddle, they've got Sutton, so they maybe wanted that's something different in terms of a deep threat. But if you just look at AJ Brown and Waddle, I don't know. I think I would rather have AJ Brown.
Yeah, I think the Rams. I think the Rams probably weren't. Yeah, were maybe serious, but were trying to get a cut price deal because the market for AJ Brown is not super hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that was interesting because as part of that, if they had traded for Brown, they were looking to trade Adams. So they've I don't want to say they've created a situation, but there's got to be some raised eyebrows from Adams's camp. Like, you wanted, I know it's a business, but
no,
just a bit of a strange one. That's all.
yeah, I don't think they would have made that deal just because Stafford's at the age he is, and the chemistry he already has with Devontae Adams is, you can see it. So,
Yeah,
why do the Rams want to make that?
I know,
Oh,
I know. That's what was crazy to me.
yeah,
So
I think you could get AJ Brown. And the problem is, look, so AJ Brown is available for trades, clearly,
yeah,
but you're dealing with the Eagles. So
yeah,
you're not going to get, you're not going to screw over the Eagles. The Eagles would say, okay, screw it. Like you're under contract. Like, I mean, they had that last year. It's not ideal, but I don't think the Eagles are in any rush to do it. They probably,
he's 32 as well, which makes it hard to part with a lot. You
yeah,
know, you're going to give up a first round pick for a 32-year-old. That's not going to happen.
the Eagles will hold on to him until, I could be proved wrong, but till probably just before the draft, or he gets traded on draft night because I'm hearing that this is not an elite receiver draft. So
Mm.
teams are, oh, okay, that's second. But yeah, it's the Eagles. And the Eagles, this GM, like he's hyper aggressive and mobile on draft night. So yeah, I wouldn't see AJ Brown on the Eagles after the draft, but it's
I,
just,
I agree.
just
Yeah.
when it happens.
It'll be interesting to see the price because, you know, he I've defended AJ Brown for a long time, but he did have quite a few drops last year.
Yeah,
And he is at an age now where there's no way you can justify a first round pick. And it's like you said, you're dealing with the Eagles. You will probably lose this trade.
Yeah, they're not in a rush. Why would they trade him now when it's only the Rams and maybe the Patriots interested? Wait until the draft and see if other teams just poke their head up and get on the phone to you.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought that just on the flip side of this Broncos trade, we just take a look at the Dolphins' perspective. They have, let's face it, they're in a major rebuild now because they have released or traded the likes of Tua, Bradley Chubb, even Tyreek Hill. So they have amassed over 150 million in dead cap just this year. That's basically half of your cap space. And I agree with it. Like, get rid of these bad deals that the previous GM made. They've picked up some good draft capital, as we've seen with the Waddle trade.
Mhm.
So now they've got 7 of the top 100 picks in this draft. And while this might not be a stellar draft, there's always a diamond in the dirt. And new GM, new head coach, both coming from Green Bay. I think you'll agree that overall, the Packers draft, they're pretty solid in the draft. So while it looks bleak right now in terms of you look at the roster and say, well, who's there? They could make some impact in this first year. And they certainly, I think, have done a great job at getting the quarterback, getting the inside track on the guy that they already knew. And the price, 22.5 million per year. That's in this day and age for the NFL, that's not a big bet. And
Yeah.
you could get a big reward from it. It's just a case of, in this TikTok world, as we like to remind ourselves every now and then,
Yeah.
year one might not look spectacular. I think you've got to go in with not like a lower expectation, but just an open mind that we're in a rebuild here. This isn't going to get fixed in 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah. They've outlined their plan, and now it's just about execution. So they've got the draft picks. They have identified the players that they do not want any piece of moving forward. And when you were telling me and I was being notified of another Dolphins player's gone, I was replying that another ego's gone, and yeah, it is truly a fresh start. And yeah, like you said, it's a great point. He was on the Packers with this head coach. So, and the head coach was the DC who had to coach up the defense to play against this quarterback every single practice. And he wanted to take this guy in free agency as his first quarterback in his first NFL head coaching opportunity. So that's a glowing reference for Malik Willis. And we'll see. Like you said, it might be bumpy. Year one might be bumpy. And their win total Vegas is 4.5, which suggests that they could be picking very high next year. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, when you look at the Dolphins roster now, you're like, geez, they've gone from the wide receivers being a real problem to it's Tolbert and a couple of guys called Washington. And yeah, I don't know a great deal about the Dolphins' skill position players except De'Von Achane, who apparently is not available for trade when everybody knows that's just a lie. And
That's an intriguing one. So Achane is in his final year at 6 million this year. So we know, that's grossly underpaid for him now.
yeah,
What would you do? Because like he's on his rookie deal. Like he's still at a good age.
yeah.
Do you trade him? I don't know what you'd get for it. I don't think you're going to get a first round pick for a running back. Do you trade him or do you extend him?
I would,
I think I would extend him.
yeah, I agree. I would try to extend him. He's been really, really good. And what are you going to pay a running back? It's not going to be that much more than 6. It's just, can you afford it? And does he want to stay?
Yeah, that's a good point.
He could have opportunities out there.
It's one of those, isn't it? It's like he's watched this team get torn down. So you could look at it from the point of view, well, why do I have to stay?
Yeah.
Or, it's the vision that the GM and the head coach sell. These guys come from a reputable organization. They've done good things in Green Bay.
Yeah, so similar to AJ Brown, if he makes it through the draft, then I believe he's going to stay for the year.
Yeah.
And they'll either extend him or he will hit free agency next year.
Mm. I mean, the prospect of Malik Willis and De'Von Achane in the backfield, Achane, let's face it, he's been the offense the last year or two. It's all run through him. Check down, check down, check down, like inside run. It all starts with him. So I feel like this potentially is an upgrade at quarterback. So, he's going to be a focal point for them. And he'll probably have less attention on him because we'll see, of course, but I think the quarterback play will be better.
Yeah. Not to hate on Tua, but last year wasn't great. So, yeah, the Dolphins are interesting. I messaged you as soon as I saw the 4.5 and said, I could see them winning. I could see them covering the 4.5.
Yeah.
Just with Malik Willis alone and the fact that they play in a subtropical climate where the visiting team has to melt in the sunlight.
They've got 2 great shots at the Jets. So that's almost half your wins, maybe.
Yeah. Other teams don't. Yeah, they win some home games, the Dolphins. They always do.
Yeah. So we'll see. So I think that really wraps it up, Paul, unless there's anything else that you want to cover this week.
No, some good stuff. Interesting with the Browns and that 5 first-round pick, 5 years of draft picks. Crazy. And yeah, the Steelers stuff is starting to now come. Now that the first wave of free agency has gone, now the Steelers guys that I follow are now getting pissed. They're like, where the hell's the quarterback? Why are we waiting for this guy? And now it's going to go on and on because now we're probably in the sort of quiet. Well, not quiet. It's always the build up to the draft, but then we're circling back to, okay, well, free agency's gone. Where are the obvious gaps on teams' rosters? And it is glaring. Steelers quarterback. Oh, this damn guy again. He's doing the same damn thing. We've been here again last year. Why are they doing the same thing again? Well, one more time. Yeah, screw it. One more. It might be this time. We don't know.
I mean, really, I'm trying to think of who else is out there in terms of free agents.
Carson.
Tyreek Hill, I mean, the injury must be a blocker for him to sign a decent deal. So
yeah,
that's one to watch.
Cool, like with the Cowboys doctor. Yeah, but he's definitely hurt.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, when did Hill get injured? It was midway through the year. So yeah, this is obviously quite early still. To you can't make a big investment on him, even if it is him. Like it is going to be 1 year. Like he'll probably get a decent. He'll get a decent amount for 1 year, but it is going to be. We need to see that that knee has recovered properly before we can, even think about a second year.
Yeah, I want to see him on the Chargers. I do.
Oof.
With Herbert and McDaniel. Just just give Justin Herbert every possible chance. Improve the offensive line.
Yeah.
Draft offensive line again and give him Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. And my man Juwan Jennings still out there. I don't know what he was advised before free agency, but it sounds like they may have got it wrong, like got his market wrong. We would welcome him back. This is me making a statement. Juwan Jennings, come back to the Niners. If all else fails, there's definitely a place for you in this offense.
Yeah, I'd welcome him on the Steelers. He'd be welcome there too. We need more receivers. So yeah. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I like Jennings. I like him. Like you said to me, third and Jennings. He's really he's a really likable player.
Yep, definitely. So our attention will be turning towards the draft as we lead up. It's actually quickly approaching. So I'm hoping to do a bit of research over the coming weeks. There's I haven't really looked at it so far, if I'm honest. Like I didn't follow college football in great detail this year. So really, there's always one name that kind of like I radiate to, and it feels like this year it's Jeremiah Love. So I wanna
Yeah.
do a bit of a deep dive because running back is a position of interest for me. I want to see if because I think you can see it. Like when Saquon's tape, when you're watching that Penn State stuff, it was ridiculous. Like you could see it. Like this guy is a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I'm interested to see some of these players. Like even Mendoza, I don't know a great deal about. Like I've seen a few interviews of him, but in terms of play, I haven't seen enough yet.
No, I've only seen highlights of Mendoza, um, and they've been spectacular. But
Really.
but it's we're gonna find out because yeah, he's gonna go number one overall. Is he truly special? Is he a product of the fact that this is a poor quarterback class?
Mm.
We'll find out. And you know, he was the quarterback of an underdog franchise winning the national championship. So is he benefiting from that as well? I don't know.
He seems a good character. I mean, I thought it was interesting that he specifically chose to go there, I believe, because his brother had developed well there. Like he turned down Georgia, turned down big like schools to go to Indiana.
Yeah.
Um, and it worked out for him. So everything I've seen from him in terms of intangibles, like he seems like a really good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're gonna see him. Like it's no secret. So and I hope it works out for the Raiders because I like the Raiders and I want them to be successful. And it would make the NFL more interesting, as a product if the Vegas Raiders were good. Like,
And that division, another.
yeah,
Can you imagine if the Raiders were good in that division? That would be spectacular, really.
yeah. The Raiders fans, like the ones that are still around that have come, they've been with the team from LA to Oakland to now to Vegas. They deserve to see some success. They really do. And it's a great city, so the visiting fans, like, yeah, they deserve to see a good team. Raiders fans are crazy, and yeah, they've just not had a lot to shout about. So yeah, hope it works out. And they've got Crosby back, and he's going to be pissed. So he's going to be motivated, and he's gonna kick some butt this year. I truly believe Crosby's like and I'll wait to see if he makes it. Like I don't fully believe this Ravens thing, but is he actually practicing like just before the season? But he's a shout to be defensive MVP because
Yeah,
he's so pissed.
like he has been sort of demonstrating this week with some of the things he said. Yeah, and as I said last week, I've got no doubts he'll be back on the field. Like his work rate is almost unrivaled in a way. Like he is a gym rat. And what you said about the Raiders fans, having experienced them firsthand in Oakland I was an undercover 49ers fan at a Raiders Chiefs game. Their fans are great, amazing. Like it helped that the game was crazy. I think they won 31-30. There's some crazy plays in that game. Amari Cooper had 150 in the first quarter.
Right.
Tyreek Hill had a 60-yard touchdown. Those fans, they love that team. So I agree. Like it would be special, especially now with this division, the way that the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos are. That's a great division.
Yeah, yeah, I like the Raiders fans from what I've seen. I haven't experienced them like you, but that city, Oakland, like they got screwed losing the football team and losing the baseball team pretty in a pretty short space of time. And it was,
And the basketball team.
oh yeah, damn the yeah, because Golden State used to play over there. Wow. They've truly got screwed.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, oh, yeah, fans of Oakland.
Tough.
They've
Very tough.
teams now, have they?
No.
No, they have to go over. They have to cross the bay to San Francisco
Yep.
to watch the Warriors. But then the Niners are at the bottom of the bay in Santa Clara, so they're not even. Wow.
Yep. So on that note, I think we'll close. Great talking to you as always, Paul.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll be heading to the draft. All roads lead to the draft now.